Hi guys, and welcome to another video. If you're new here, welcome so much to this channel. My name is Jackie Kabeni. I share information concerning travel and immigration and a few things here and there about life in the US. And today I want to do a continuation of the last video I did, and we are picking up from the person our applicant has won. And let me give a disclaimer that some of these things are according to what I went through. So you're not likely going to experience the same thing I did, but most of the time, somehow there are a few things which are similar or that you're going to go through. So my flight was from Nairobi to Doha, Chicago to Missouri. So my port of entry was Chicago, however you'd like to call it. You choose a place where you're going to pick that envelope, and you're told to never open it until you reach your port of entry. So I had kept my envelope from September, and it came to be open at March. And the officer took the form, and apparently he was from the same state that I was going to, so he was kind of friendly, and he was also African American, so it wasn't intense. The only thing which was intense was you are experiencing something new. There were so many people also. So the only question he asked me was if I'm planning to go to the same address as what the form said. I said yeah. And the other thing that happened after that, I missed my flight. I think it's good you book when you're booking the ticket, look or make sure maybe there's a layover of 2 or 3 hours. I don't know. I think that port of entry for me was the one which was so busy because I stayed there for more than 2 hours, I think. So the next thing, my host family booked a flight for me because I missed the one I had booked, and it wasn't even a known airline. So when I asked those people, they said, we haven't seen these people, now the airline, we haven't seen them open for like a week. I'm like, what? So be also very careful when you're booking your tickets. And then I got picked up by my host family, and then things were so, I remember that moment. It was so, I don't know how to explain it. Those are the moments, no matter how many years you stay in the US, I hope I'll never forget those moments. But even the people who came before me, they'll keep telling you, unakumbuka iyo, let me speak English. You remember that feeling of when you first came to the US. Everyone has that memory, everyone. It's like, you know, in your head you have this picture about the US, and now you're there. But in your mind at the moment, at that point, you're not like sure you're in the US yet, so you're still not believing you're there yet. But I don't know how to explain. It was good. It was. And then my cousin was driving at 90, so me, I'm like, hey, America people drive at 90, 90 mph is in kilometer per hour. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so people drive this fast in the US. And then now I had my aunt say, hey, you need to slow down, like that. So in my mind, everything is new. So anything your mind is catching is what you think the US is about. So after that, I forgot something. When my host family picked me up, they kept saying, welcome to America, welcome to America. Those words, till now, I have those voices in my head. That first word you hear from the person who is picking you up, welcome to America, welcome to America. I still have those voices in my head because it's something so memorable. It's something you had waited for so long, and now finally it's here, and finally you have it. It's just something, I don't know. I cannot find the right words to explain it, but it's just but a good feeling. So they picked me up, and as soon as I went home, I found my other cousin now who was cooking. He was the youngest, so he is more of American-ish. So he was like, "What's up?" So in my mind, I'm like, hi. No, you see this when your first experience with a person who has stayed here or an African American, it's so like, yeah, I think my facial expression can explain. Okay, you don't know what to say, you don't know how to respond like that. So he said, "What's up?" I said, "Hi." And then after that, I was told to go shower. So I changed, showered, and we talked. I called my family. I told them I had arrived. They had stayed, I think, almost all night because I had told them that I missed my flight, so they were kind of afraid because of jet lag. I had stayed from Doha to Chicago. I think I had stayed for over 13 hours plus, so I was so tired. I'm not going to put it like Monday, Tuesday, because I can't remember the days, but I remember the first place that I was took by my host mom was Walmart. She had given me her phone because my phone was, how do I explain it? It wasn't working rightly, so she had given me her phone and she took me to Walmart. And the legendary, the famous Walmart, I was about to get in there and to see this store. Why is it so famous? Why is it so... I was just so happy to see it. I was so happy. Yes, I was so happy. I would not lie and say I wasn't happy. Oh, I was happy. Seeing Walmart for the first time. Oh yeah, I was happy. And I kept looking at people like, and then I had this, hair, like their twists, and there was this African American woman who was next to the checkout places where you pay. And she was like, "Oh, I like your hair." Then I'm like trying to pinch my host mom. I'm like, uh. I said, "Oh, thank you." And then she goes on to ask, "Where did you get it done from?" I said, Kenya. And she was like, "Oh," because my mom had done my hair like the previous 2 or 3 days, so it was fresh, and there were so many twists. I'll try and look for a picture. So that lady, whoever she was also part of my welcome to America because she made me feel, ooh, okay, I look good. I got a compliment from someone in America. Okay, I'm joking. And the other thing is my mom, my host mom took me to go get a line, an American line. She gave me one of her lines that she was not using. And then she paid, you have to pay for a phone bill. She paid for the phone bill for me. Ooh, thank you, Mom. And then the other thing that also, which was major, which disturbed me, was the time difference. I'm sorry. Time difference. I used to be awake when they are sleeping because my head or the time is still like functioning like in Kenya. So when people are awake in Kenya, I'm awake. And then when people are sleeping on this other side, I'm awake. And then during the day, that's when I'm sleeping. It happened for a while and then it went. And then the other thing that I found was the food tasted so different. You know, your taste bud at that time, you have like Kenyan, everything Kenyan on your tongue, on your taste bud. So when you come and taste their food, you're like, it's not tasting the same way like that. And then the other place I was taken was the mall. One of my cousins took me to the mall. And then we took some pictures. I was so shy by then. And then the other thing, I was taken to a wig store. And then they used to take me to places. Hey, my friend. And then the other thing they used to do is like make me try American fast foods almost every other day. So try Chipotle today. The other day would try Qdoba. The other day Chick-fil-A. The other day McDonald's. Man, God bless them. The other, where was I taken? Oh, I was taken to church, a Kenyan church. And then I got to introduce myself. The other place I was taken was some restaurants, some breakfast restaurants. Hey, man, those memories, I don't know. they're here and they will forever be here. So those are, I think all of that happened in a span of 1 to 2 weeks, or from day 1 to the maybe 14 days. And then the third week things started to be ooh, sorry guys. The third week things started to be kind of serious now. My green card arrived and it happened so fast somehow. And I'm thinking, this is my thinking. I always think that because I paid the 220 USCIS fee early enough, that's why my green card came earlier. That's what I'm always thinking. I'm not sure. Don't take my words for, don't use my words against me. So on the third week of arriving in the US, I received my green card, and I think also my social, if I'm not wrong. I received the social and also received my green card. So that means I was ready to work. On the third week also, I was too afraid by the way to speak. I don't know why. Something, I don't know whether it happens to other people too, but I used to tell my friends back home, can you please talk English to me so that I can have a flow of words in English? Because I felt like all of a sudden you know how to speak, but all of a sudden it's gone. You're trying to express yourself and you can't anymore. I don't know why. So I'll just place it like the first 2 weeks and then the second 2 weeks. So the second 2 weeks, that's when I got my social and my green card, and things started now to be serious. Now the Mary, welcome to America time is over now. It's time. You're so ready to work. You have all the documentations for you to start working. After that, my host family took there's a book, a DMV book. I don't know whether it's called a DMV book. It's a book like you read about the road, how to drive, those things that you need to know about driving before going to take my exam for receiving a permit. So the other thing that happened within those 2 weeks was, I'm not sure whether I went to the DMV during those 2 weeks. No, I think it was after, but I do remember at the end of that month, that's when I started my job. And let me tell you how it happened. So me, I'm just in my merry welcome to America mode, blah blah blah, and all of those. And then we are seated there, and my host mom says she received a call, and she had like looked for a job for me even before I arrived. So the lady that called her, she was like, you said you had a girl coming from Kenya. Has she arrived? And she said, yeah, she's been here for a few weeks now. And then the lady goes on to say, so we have a job today at 9. Hi. And then it's around, I think, in the afternoon there. And then she cuts the call, and then she's like, you start your job today. I'm like, what? I was so shocked. I was like, huh? And then she said, yeah. And she told one of my cousins to drop me off, because of course at that time you don't know how to drive. Some people, yes, you might come from home, you know how to drive. I used to know the basics of driving, but you cannot drive, you don't have any documentation, and you don't know how to like shift. From Kenya we drive right, here it's left. So I got dropped off, and I was trembling. My Jesus, the person I was looking after had just come from the hospital. So I was shaking. And I don't want to give the details of that, but it was a shaking and exciting experience at the same time, because this is something you've never done before. And then you've been told, Mulete leo, bring her today. Hey. So I went, I did my first job. I got my first job the same month I arrived. 30, the last day of that month that I arrived, that's when I got my job. So the things that you're supposed to do as soon as you arrive, I believe I've tackled them, but let me just highlight them. Relax. The first week, of course, relax. Some people even arrive today and then you're working tomorrow or that night. So the scenarios are different. So you can relax, try to see around, try to experience, like take in, absorb that welcome to America moment and mood because you'll never experience it again. Right now, yes, I see the things, I see the roads, but there's that feeling I got when I first came, and it never fades away, and I hope it never fades away from my mind, my heart, my everything. So the other thing, most of the people say that whoever will host you plays part a lot in how your life or how your first year in America will be, which is so true. Me, I've seen it, because my host family did so many things for me, and I feel like that's why so many things went so fast for me. So assuming I stayed for 2-3 months without having a job, things would have also been like 3 months behind. So the other thing you should do is, there's that book, ask your host or your friend or whoever that you might to go get that DMV book for you, because you need, depending on the state, most states you need to drive. So go take that book, read the book, and then go do that test so that you can get a permit. You know, with a permit now you can borrow someone's vehicle before you work and save enough to be able to buy yours. You can be borrowing someone's vehicle and you go to work. The other thing now, after you got your permit, after now you have gotten your permit, and now maybe you have a job, things will just line up. You need to go back now to get a driver's license, and like that life will just flow, because also you're going to meet maybe someone who's from the same country as you are, and they'll tell you this, you can do this, you can do that, like that. So that was my experience, my first month in America. That's how things lined up, and I hope that this video has given you an idea of what to expect when you first arrive here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.